My name is beruhe.f and I'm a nominee for GHP for Visual Arts for the year 2025. Most of my pieces that I'll be presenting specifically highlight my experience as a diabetic, and all of them are made in the year of 2024. And thank you for this opportunity. Rainy Days was inspired by my struggle, especially in the athletic world. As a diabetic in cross country, running miles away from the school and back, there were days, rare but still, where my blood sugar would drop in the middle of practice. I had to find a way back to school safely, and it truly highlights my fear and the isolation that you feel at that moment of time, as you realize your blood sugar is betraying you, and the long distance that you have left. And in my paintings, I really get the rain effect by dripping water onto my canvas, and also suspending water through a spray on a wet canvas to really have the paint drip through the canvas to emphasize on the rain. So, as a portrait artist, this was a fun way for me to really challenge myself, especially in a short period of time. I really wanted to allow myself to really be challenged and also to grow my skill as I rendered this piece. And I really wanted to compare the loneliness that you feel to the headlights of the car by adding more cool colors, especially in the bright parts of the car, and contrasting it to the muted colors, especially in the landscape. It creates emphasis towards the cars due to, as they're passing by, they're an offer of hope, especially to the diabetic that is struggling at that moment in time. 3. This piece is specifically about the concerns and the fears that water and swimming, as a person with diabetes and as someone that could only swim for 20 minutes at a time, and the limitations imposed by my medical devices, have a significant impact on my mental health and creating an additional challenges for someone that already struggles with diabetes. I use stitching to connect it to my device, and using the beads to show shine and the value that we have, and the value and the care that diabetes specifically have about their blood. And I use oil paint to contrast with the wantingness of being in the water, as oil can be bipolar and or into water. And also to contrast the blues that the subject is feeling, and comparing it to the bright, vibrant ocean, and then versus the high populace of blood. Self-portrait reflects my struggle as a diabetic and the burdens of the high cost of medical bills and living expenses, as using coffee stains to express the stress of it all. The needles and the insulin vials symbolize how familiar this kind of practice is for typical diabetics, and how people can typically fall into this crippling debt just to survive. I collaged my medical bills and spilled coffee on it, while also gluing it down to a canvas. And I use acrylic paint to paint my self-portrait, and I also use color pencils to create a sense of nervousness by the random hatching of it.